Who remembers when Cyberverse as a line was terrible? Dumb question, I'm sure all of you do. And again, I know it's a line that's aimed at younger audiences compared to, War for Cybertron, Legacy, Studio Series, but come on. Even RID-15 had a better toy line than this, like from start to finish. So whenever they unveiled the deluxes for the specific toy line for Cyberverse, I was excited, and I'm pretty sure everyone else was excited, and it totally didn't get scalped. Hot Rod shown here specifically was one that I was looking forward to when I heard about him, got home from work, looked him up, and I'm super hard disappointed. Majority of the figure was nothing but red plastic, not much paint. And yes, before you say anything, my copy has a lot of paint, because I took the time to paint him to look closer to the show model, and while it's not perfect, I feel like what I did improved the looks of the figure by a large margin. I redid the shins entirely, painted the waist section, both spoilers. Seriously, this thing looked lifeless until I painted it, and looking back at the stock photos, I like my work way better than just nothing but red plastic. Allow me to rant for a moment and raise a couple of questions for you. What is a major detail on Hot Rod? What is one thing that is consistent about him? His yellow goddamn spoiler. And Hasbro messed up the most common detail on him, which I'll remind you in his robot mode is a different piece of two different pieces of plastic, mind you, actually. So how hard would it have been, like, oh hey, we have a lot of yellow plastic for Bumblebee. You know what we can do? Pull from the yellow pile of plastic that we can mold into the wings for Hot Rod, and to make his robot mode look somewhat decent if we're not going to add any sort of paint to this thing, except for like a couple touch of orange. That's good, right? Like, no! How do you mess up a very common detail on this character? The lack of paint and color is what kneecaps this figure beyond belief. It's like, how? So, yeah. Not too hot in the looks department, I'd say. But articulation is fairly solid. It comes with every joint you could pretty much want on a figure at this size and scale. But for $20 US, I'm sure you could maybe ask for just a little bit more range. But I think it's all fine here, and it works the way it should. I can't complain. He did, though, come with 2 flame effect parts, and I kind of misplaced them, so I can't quite show them off. So, forgive me. I'm kind of forgetful in my anger sometimes. Transformation itself is incredibly easy, but it is a tad fiddly depending on how you want everything to go together. But I think it's satisfying enough. The car mode looks pretty good too. It's super close to what the show gave us, except for, of course, the hood flames that are missing. And yes, I can understand why the paint budget was lower for these earlier deluxes, but I think they could have put a bit more effort into this figure specifically, because every other deluxe that I've purchased from the Cyberverse line didn't make me feel as disappointed as this one did. So it's just me wanting more effort out of Hasbro into everything that they put out for us, because they can put out good stuff for this line. They've proven it to this point. So, I'm just kind of wanting Hasbro to do better. It's super hard for me to come to a clear verdict on this one, on where I would put this thing at. I'd probably give this thing like a 6 out of 10. So I like the figure, generally speaking, but in terms of looks, I hate it because it could have been painted so much better initially, or had better plastic put into it to make it look like the show model. And of course, I've painted mine, so what I have now I do like a lot more, but if you're looking at the base product, it's really not that great. There's better versions of Hot Rod that you can buy, but which none of them are going to be in the Cyberverse line, so this is the best Hot Rod to buy from that specific series, which is annoying. So, as a toy, it's pretty good. I think it's, fun to handle, but as a display piece, I would hard pass on it, unless you're just a super die-hard Hot Rod fan. And of all the Cyberverse Deluxes, this is my least favorite. That's really all I have, so make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you're so inclined, please follow my social media pages down below in the description. And with that, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day, week, month, life, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!